The average 40-year-old in America has a net worth of around $135,000. The median, meaning the person right in the middle, is closer to $91,000. If you're watching this in your 30s or 40s and you have no idea where you land, this video is for you. We're going to walk through actual net worth benchmarks at 35, 40, and 45. What the data says, what the data is missing, and exactly what to do if your number isn't where you want it to be. No fluff. Let's get into it. If you've ever had that quiet, uncomfortable thought, am I actually on track? You're not alone. Most people in their 30s and 40s are doing the right things, contributing to their 401k, paying down debt, trying to save, but they have no external reference point. Nobody tells you what on track actually looks like. That's what this video solves. By the end of this, you'll know the median and average net worth at 35, 40, and 45. You'll know what the top 10% of wealth builders look like at each age. You'll understand why those numbers are misleading without context. And most importantly, you'll know what to do next, whether you're behind, ahead, or right on the line. The data we're pulling from is the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, which is the most comprehensive household wealth study in the country. They run it every 3 years. The most recent data is from 2022. These are real numbers. Chapter 1. What net worth actually means, and why most people get it wrong. Before we look at any benchmark, let's make sure we're comparing apples to apples. Net worth is simple. Everything you own minus everything you owe. Assets. The balance in your checking and savings accounts, your investment and retirement accounts, your home equity if you own a home, the value of a business if you own one, and any other property. Liabilities. Your mortgage balance, car loans, student loans, credit card balances, personal loans, any money you owe to anyone. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. The mistake most people make is they confuse income with wealth. You can earn $200,000 a year and have a negative net worth if you're spending $210,000. And you can earn $65,000 a year and be well on your way to financial independence if you're consistently saving and investing the difference. Income is a tool. Net worth is the scoreboard. The other thing worth noting, the averages we're about to look at are heavily skewed by the ultra-wealthy. When a handful of people have net worths in the billions, it pulls the average up dramatically. That's why we'll look at both the mean, average, and the median, the middle person, at each age. The median is usually the more honest number for most people. Chapter 2. The benchmarks. What the data actually says at 35, 40, and 45. Let's run the numbers. At age 35, according to the Federal Reserve data, the median net worth for households under 35 is around $39,000. For the 35 to 44 age bracket, it's approximately $135,000. The mean, the average, for that 35 to 44 group is closer to $549,000. That gap tells you everything. A small number of high-wealth households are pulling that average way up. So what does the top 10% look like at 35? Roughly $1.2 million or more in net worth. Here's what this actually means. If you're 35 and you have $135,000 in assets minus debts, you're right at the median. You're doing as well as half the country. But if you feel behind, it's worth asking. Behind compared to whom and toward what goal? At age 40, the 35 to 44 median sits at $135,000. So somewhere in the 40-year-old range, you're working inside that bracket. But let's frame it differently, using a common wealth-building rule of thumb, Fidelity's retirement savings guidelines. Fidelity recommends having 3 times your salary saved for retirement by age 40. So if you earn $80,000 a year, that's $240,000 in retirement accounts by 40. Most people don't have that. The median retirement account balance for people in their 40s is around $77,400. The average is $132,700. Again, skewed up by high earners. That gap between the benchmark and reality is not a reason to panic. It's a reason to get specific about what you need. At age 45, the 45 to 54 age bracket shows a median net worth of approximately $247,000. The mean jumps to around $975,000, again, heavily skewed. Fidelity's benchmark at 45 is 5 times your salary in retirement savings. For a $90,000 earner, that's $450,000. The top 10% at this age? They're sitting above $1.9 million in net worth. The difference between median and top 10% at age 45 is roughly $1.65 million. That gap didn't happen by accident, and it didn't happen overnight. It happened because of decisions made at 30, 32, 35. We'll talk about what those decisions actually are. Chapter 3. Why the top 10% pull away. And it's not what most people think. People assume the wealth gap is about income, that high earners are automatically in the top 10%. The data says otherwise. The Federal Reserve's research consistently shows that the primary driver of wealth accumulation is not income, it's savings rate and investment behavior. Two people earning the same salary can end up in completely different financial positions at 45 based almost entirely on what percentage of their income they saved and whether they invested it. Here's what the top decile actually does. They started earlier. The median top 10% households started investing meaningfully in their 20s. Compound growth is not a cute concept, it's arithmetic. $500 a month invested starting at 25, earning 8% annually, becomes about $1.75 million by 65. Starting at 35 with the same contributions and same returns gives you around $745,000. Same behavior, 10-year head start, more than $1 million difference. They kept their savings rate high as income grew. This is where most people stumble. Income goes up, lifestyle expands, savings rate stays flat or drops. High net worth households at 45 typically maintained or increased their savings rate as income grew. They didn't lifestyle inflate their way to zero. They used every account available to them, 401k to the match at minimum. IRA, Roth or traditional depending on tax situation. HSA if eligible. That's triple tax advantaged, and most people ignore it. And once tax-advantaged accounts are maxed, a taxable brokerage account. They stacked accounts in tax-efficient order. They held low-cost diversified index funds, not individual stocks, not crypto speculation, not whatever was trending. Total market index funds from Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab. Expense ratios under 0.10%. Simple, boring, effective. None of these behaviors require a six-figure salary. They require consistency over time. Chapter 4. What to do. If you're behind, a real framework. If you looked at these benchmarks and your number isn't where you want it to be, here's what actually moves the needle. Step 1. Know your actual number. You cannot close a gap you haven't measured. Add up every asset. Retirement accounts, savings, home equity, investment accounts, any property. Then subtract every liability. Mortgage balance, car loans, student loans, credit cards. That's your net worth. Write it down, track it quarterly. If you want a tool to do this, Empower, formerly Personal Capital, is free and connects all your accounts in one place. Fidelity's planning tools are also free and genuinely good. Step 2. Find your gap. Take your current net worth. Compare it to a realistic target based on your age and income. If you're 40, earning $85,000, Fidelity's 3 times benchmark puts your target at $255,000 in retirement savings. If you're at $100,000, the gap is $155,000. That's your number. That's what you're working with. Step 3. Increase your savings rate before you adjust your investments. This is counterintuitive for people who fixate on returns. If you're behind, chasing higher returns is not the answer at this stage. Increasing contributions is. Going from a 6% savings rate to a 12% savings rate has a more predictable and more powerful effect on your long-term balance than trying to outperform the market. Step 4. Use the order of operations. If you're not sure where to put your next dollar, here's the priority order that most financial planners agree on. 1. 401k, up to the employer match. That's an immediate 50 to 100% return. Never skip it. 2. Pay off high-interest debt. Anything above 6 to 7% interest. That's a guaranteed return equal to the interest rate. 3. Max your HSA if you're on a high-deductible health plan. Triple tax advantage. Use it. 4. Max your Roth or traditional IRA. $7,000 in 2024 if you're under 50. $8,000 if you're 50 or older. 5. Return to your 401k and continue increasing contributions toward the max. $23,000 in 2024. 6. Taxable brokerage account once you've done all of the above. That order is not complicated. Most people know it in theory. The gap is execution. Let's land on the key takeaways. 1. The median net worth at 35 is roughly $135,000. At 45, it's around $247,000. These are reference points, not report cards. 2. The averages are badly skewed by extreme wealth. The median is the honest benchmark for most people. 3. The top 10% are not necessarily higher earners. They're higher savers who started earlier, kept their savings rate consistent, and use tax-advantaged accounts aggressively. 4. If you're behind, the first move is not to change your investments. It's to know your number, find your gap, and increase your contributions. The benchmark doesn't determine your outcome. Your next decision does. Save this video. It's worth coming back to when you're doing your own numbers. If you want a starting point, there's a net worth tracker linked in the description. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out, and it'll show you exactly where you stand. Subscribe if you want more content like this. We break down real financial data in plain language, consistently, without the hype. And if you're not sure what to do with your money right now, watch this next. It covers the exact order to invest your dollars depending on where you are today.